This is a sexual marketplace economic prediction. There will not be enough men in the future to go around. I heard other people saying that even when women get old in their 30s and 40s that they'll still be able to find a man. This is not true for all of these women. Some of the women will be able to find a man, no question, but other women won't be able to. However, most all of the men will be able to find a woman if they want one. Because there simply won't be enough men to go around. Consider the most attractive 35-year-old men, they will not go for 35-year-old women, even if these women were 11s in her prime. These men will be able to easily marry 9 out of 10 fertile women in their early 20s. The 50-year-old alpha men will not be marrying 50-year-old women, as these men will be able to marry mid to late 30-year-old women. This is a giant game of musical chairs, and it means that some women are going to be left standing when the music stops. A man's dating pool gets larger as he grows older, while a woman's shrinks. You're already seeing it in all these articles written by dried-up women, who can't find a good man anymore. The only reason there are slightly more men than women globally right now is because of people in China and India and other similar countries who are aborting the females during pregnancy because these cultures have traditionally preferred sons. That is beginning to change, however, and people in those cultures are starting to value girls because girls are becoming more valuable in those places. After all, due to the overabundance of males in those countries, daughters are becoming more in demand. Also, the world is becoming more gynocentric, so it is becoming more taboo to prefer sons in even those cultures. There is a link to an article down below that talks about this. The article dates back to 2011, and at this point the ratio of boys to girls was already decreasing, and experts in the article were thinking that within 10 to 20 years the ratio may become relatively even. I think within around 15 to 20 years there will be relatively even birth rates among girls and boys in India and China. Especially since in these cultures there is a surplus of boys to girls, so there aren't enough girls for men to marry, so the parents of girls are able to ask for economic and monetary incentives because the girls are the in-demand gender. This means that there is a new economic and fiscal incentives for couples in these countries to have girls because they know if they have a girl, that their daughter will be able to demand a high price for her hand in marriage, which will of course benefit the parents as well. Moreover, due to estrogens and pollution in the environments, male babies being born or surviving pregnancy is becoming more rare. I've linked the article talking about this below. But essentially because of all the synthetic and estrogens and pollution in the environment, it's causing boy fetuses to die during pregnancy, becoming miscarriages. This is one reason why in most of the developed countries right now, such as the US, Canada, the UK, Germany, France, Korea, Australia, Italy, there are more females than there are men. Link below. Since preferring sons is not a trend in these countries. In all these countries there are more women than there are men. This is because of the greater likelihood of male babies to die out due to the estrogens and pollution in the environments that I mentioned. Finally, there are twice as many gay men as there are lesbian women. Now this is an interesting stat in its own right. Link down below. As there are literally twice as many men who find women completely disgusting as there are women who find men completely disgusting. It brings me back to talks I've had with female friends who are bisexual. Many of them essentially told me the same thing. They said, I find women really attractive sexually, but I would never be in a relationship with one, they're too crazy. Even other women don't want to commit to other women. In closing, some of the women will be able to find a simp, but some won't. Men don't grow on trees, there are only so many of them in the world, and we don't live as long on average as women do, so there isn't enough supply of men to meet demand at the older ages for older women. I did 2 videos on this. Essentially, the first used statistics to show there are way more older single women than men, and the second video used a study to show that older women have serious problems in the dating market. A 50-year-old man has been proven to be vastly more attractive than a 50-year-old woman. Women know this shit better than the manosphere does, the older ones at least. There won't be enough simps for everyone, and the more that get taken to the cleaners through the divorce courts, the more that get converted by the red pill, the more likely some of them are to walk away for good, or be so jaded that they will not fall for anything but a unicorn. I will close with a dialogue from an episode of Girls. The main character's father had realized he was gay, while still married to the mom. The mom was in her late 50s early 60s and was drinking with a bunch of older women in their late 40s to 60s. The main character's mom complains, "My husband is gay." The other women all respond by saying, "So?" Another woman pops up and says, "I would kill for a gay husband, I would kill for any husband," and all of the women nod their heads in agreement. If you like my content, please bang the bell and subscribe.